Good morning and welcome back to Mull. Now, I'm actually on holiday today, so this is a pre-record. You may have noticed by the weather if there's some serious changes tomorrow. Um, but I am having the bank holiday off, so I thought I would put this together for you so you'd get your normal message from Mull, and then I'll be off for the weekend. So, first message from Mull back again will be on Monday, along with the exercise of the day. Although I think Katie's going to put one out for you today as well. And today's message from Mull is variety is the spice of life. Now, we're going to refer back here to principles of fitness that I spoke a little while ago about. And we tackled one, which was reversibility. So there is a little talk on that on the website. And the next one we're going to focus on, of the four, is the principle of variance. And in a nutshell, it just means that if we make minor changes to our training program, it can help us yield more positive results going forward. And it's something that's used a lot in sports performance, is really challenging the body in different ways to make sure that we don't plateau and we keep moving forward all the time. And these might be variations in the duration or maybe the intensity of the exercise, the volume of the exercise, or it may be incorporating different forms of training completely. You quite often find top level sportsmen and women will go and try different sports just to give their body a bit of a break from doing the same routine all the time and train themselves in a slightly different way. And often we also refer to varying the sort of intensity and the build up to competition. So a lot of athletes will try to peak for competition. They know they can't train incredibly hard all year round, so they vary it a little bit. And they will have periods where they train a little bit harder and then perhaps ease away a little bit as well. Now, again, we've talked about extreme athletes before, and that's not the domain for us. It's just to give you an idea of what we're talking about. But we can always adapt these principles for ourselves. And you may have noticed that in some of the Move Well classes that we do, we quite often incorporate some sports specific movements. So, for example, we get the basketball out, or we have used hockey before. We have used throwing a ball against the wall to develop your coordination. And tennis as well, hitting a tennis ball against the wall, just to sort of name a few there. And the idea around that is to challenge your brain, challenge your muscle tissue in different ways, and get you working in a way that maybe improves your foot patterns, your foot placement, and hand-eye coordination as well, which is not always something we can do in a gym environment. And it is quite critical for a lot of activities in daily life, and as we've been talking a lot about recently, preventing falls and improving our gait patterns and our movement patterns. So we're trying to develop motor skills here really, and in the real world it might be worth us starting to make a little note of what we're doing on a daily basis. So if you're out walking and cycling, like I know a lot of you are, maybe is it time to start mixing it up a little bit by either bringing in a different form of activity every now and again. I'm not saying you have to give up the things you enjoy, but if you're walking a lot, could you, for example, get access to a bicycle and once a week try a bike ride just to work the muscles in a different way and maybe give certain muscles a little bit of a rest while keeping up your activity rate. And it's almost active recovery for a lot of us. Could you, for example, if you're out on a regular walk and you're starting to find that it's much easier than you did at the start, could you start to walk a bit faster in certain stages of it? So maybe pick a couple of lampposts and think, right, between these lampposts I'm going to really speed up, I'm going to work particularly hard in there. Or could I put in a little hill somewhere along the way? And let's face it, if you're in the round Oban or any of this countryside, there's no shortage of little hills. And I know some of you have been getting in contact who have been out on your bikes and telling us that hills that you had to walk up at the start of lockdown, now you can get all the way up. So just start to think about little ways that you can mix it up and not let your body plateau. Because the other thing is, there might be a certain level of tedium that creeps in if you're doing the same thing over and over again. So give yourself a wee bit of variety. Think about things that you enjoy doing. Maybe take up a new active hobby. I know a lot of you have been gardening as well, and that's great. It works muscle tissue in a different way. And it develops new neural pathways. Because the problem is that when we start doing the same activity over and over again, then we become quite good at it. And as those neural pathways improve, our technique gets better. And as our technique gets better, we use up less energy doing the activity. So the amount of calories that you may have burnt up on a bike ride at day 1 could be completely different to exactly the same bike ride at day 40, day 50, where your coordination on the bike, the way you fire off certain muscle tissue will be much more effective, and you will not burn up as much energy as you did. So to keep progressing forward, we need to keep challenging the body a little bit and mixing it up. Now remember that your recovery is also very important. Very important principle of fitness. And if you do find that you start to up things a little bit, and then we're getting a little bit more aches and pains than we did before, it's okay to ease back a little bit. It's okay to regress the program a little bit until you recover, and then pick things up again. So basically, listen to your body. It will tell you when it needs a rest, and be smart. It's not just about training hard all the time, it's about training smart. And there's also a real relationship here to diet in terms of variance. So if you find that you're eating the same stuff all the time, mix it up a little bit as well. So for example, if you're eating the same fruits and veg all the time, then try to vary things, try some new stuff. Because then you'll be mixing up the amount of nutrition that you're getting, the amount of vitamins and minerals that are coming into your body. It's not the same stuff all the time, and that's going to be much better for your overall health. So have a lovely weekend. I know there's probably no such thing as a long weekend these days because they're all long weekends, but have a nice weekend. I hope that the weather tends to hold. It's supposed to rain today, but we seem to be very lucky again. As always, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, please subscribe. It helps us as a charity going forward in terms of trying to attract greater levels of funding. And I will see you on Monday. And as always, stay safe, guys. Bye-bye.